A puzzle game from a new fully remote studio featuring David Hellman's art and writing from Nick Sutter? Well, color me intrigued because on paper, Arranger is a delightful looking game and the first game out from the new studio Furniture and Mattress. I had the pleasure of previewing this game back at Summer Game Fest in June, and I was immediately enamored by the colorful visuals, charming writing, and stimulating puzzle gameplay. And while my preview was great, I've had my fair share of great previews that turned out to be bad final games, so I was cautiously optimistic with this one. Arranger takes place in this large fantasy world designed like a sliding puzzle. A long time ago, a young Jemma was mysteriously abandoned. With nothing but an interesting insignia on her back, there wasn't much detailing where she came from or who she was. All these years later, we play as an older Jemma, one with the power to maneuver the world around her. Her friends and family all commentate on how whenever she's around, she tends to cause a mess. You don't necessarily control Jemma's movement, but instead the floor tiles around her. As you move forward, you shift the entire floor in the direction you're moving. This means anything or anyone in front or behind you moves alongside with you. Like a Rubik's Cube, once you move over a corner, said tile moves over to the other side, or in this case of the game, back all the way around. It's a fascinating mechanic for a puzzle game that had me equally scratching my head and cheering when I figured the puzzle out. It's a testament to its thoughtful and intricate puzzle design that I felt both stupid and like a genius with every puzzle I tackled. Now back to Jemma. It's been a few years since her new family found her, and since then, she's had nothing but questions about her powers, where she came from, and what that darn symbol on her back means. Finally feeling like it's time to see the world, she sets off on exploring outside of her town. Along the way, she'll come across new faces and environments for her to help and traverse. The writing for these characters' dialogue was cute and I believe sounded authentic. New faces came off as quirky and funny, often getting a chuckle and a smirk out of me as I maneuvered my way deeper into the about 5-hour story. As I continued further into the endearing story, I slightly worried that the initial shine of the movement mechanics would wear off. Luckily, with every section came new people to talk to and new gameplay mechanics to use. While I could easily go ahead and name all the future mechanics, I'll just mention one of my favorites to keep this as spoiler-free as I can. In the middle of the game, you're introduced to a remote that, when you move it, moves a handful of other objects. Suddenly, you're not just trying to solve a Rubik's Cube puzzle, but rather trying to place various objects on switches that aren't anywhere near each other that also move whenever you do. Like most of the new mechanics, it still uses the same base mechanic but changes the elements around it to feel new and unique, and that's what kept me looking forward to every new section. New sections typically introduce new mechanics that you'd spend the majority of your time learning how to use, solving puzzles inside of this new sandbox area while helping your new friends. All this would then lead to a boss fight that would challenge you to use that mechanic in order to defeat them. These bosses were certainly the most challenging parts of the puzzles, but also the most grand. For the most part, Arranger is a straightforward single-player game, but there are a handful of side quests that flesh out the characters and the world while adding more hours to the final playtime. These aren't required by any means, but do let you get more out of Arranger if you choose to, and I knew by the end of my game I definitely wanted more. Additionally, for anyone who struggles with the puzzles, there are assist options here that can guide you toward an objective or skip puzzles if you just want to experience the story. While I never use them, it's great to see the accessibility options for anyone who would like to. I played my review copy on Nintendo Switch and performance seemed stable. I was able to get a solid 60 FPS at 720p in handheld and 1080p in dock mode. On the OLED Switch, the backgrounds really stood out thanks to the vibrant colors and sharp line work. David Hellman, who you might know from his work on the indie game Braid, did a marvelous job illustrating the backgrounds. It's a clever way to tell a story too, as the further you move into a level, you see scenes in the background manifest like panels in a comic book. The execution was seamless and it felt like interacting with a pop-up book that I was playing. As for the music, that was composed by Tomás Batista, who worked on Fidel Dungeon previously. His use of string instruments was soothing and calming as I slid my way further into the levels. Even more, the music was relaxing, which at times with some of the more challenging puzzles was a blessing. It certainly helped with my patience at least. Arranger is everything I would want from a puzzle video game. It's cute yet challenging, but not to the point that it frustrates me. On the contrary, its puzzles are tough enough to make me feel proud when I solve them, even if it gives me the option to skip them if I just want to see the story. While it's not as bite-sized as something like Sayonara Wild Hearts, it's the perfect size to play over the weekend or on the go on a public transit commute, not feeling like it overstays its welcome or underdelivers either. Lastly, its presentation is beautiful, from its adorable chibi characters that very much look like a mix of Captain Underpants book panels meets Braid, to the lovely collection of tranquil tracks. Arranger left me feeling happy and accomplished, and if this is what's to expect from this new studio moving forward, I'm excited to see if they continue the series because a co-op local Arranger 2 would be awesome.